The first K-pop thought is that, I had this thought randomly when looking at songs like Papaya's Listen to My Word, Baby Vox's Betrayal and SES's Dreams Come True etc., and these songs made me think about Nugu groups in the later years, because looking back at first generation of K-pop it had quite a bit of bad production musically, which includes poor vocal mixing and quality and other things that are needed to make the song listenable, and there's a lot of Nugu groups who are the same. It brought up the thought that Nugu groups don't have bad production for their music, they're just stuck in the first generation. If you gave me songs to react to from first gen that I didn't know about beforehand, I'd probably think it's some Nugu group or something. If a Nugu group released a song now with bad production, they'd get hated on for their bad production or called cheap, but if they released the same song in the first generation, it might have chances of being a hit lol, IDK. My brain comes up with the most random yet interesting thoughts. The next K-pop thought is that, you guys already know about the multiple times I've talked about K-tubers overusing opinions and not caring and only wanting views, but I have new thoughts again. So, K-tubers don't have their own opinions most of the times, and just overuse opinions already shared before, which shows that these K-tubers overfill the space with unpopular K-pop opinions videos that go nowhere, which we can do without. K-tubers don't care about the content quality as long as it brings them views, because if many K-tubers overuse an opinion, it shows that they care more about getting views from making these videos because it brings a good amount of views, and so overusing an opinion comes off as a quick solution to making these videos and getting them on YouTube, since thinking of your own opinions would take time, and I believe that overusing an opinion would be faster for K-tubers to do, right? Do you get what I'm saying? Like K-tubers just put anything in their videos, even if it's an overused opinion, so that they can upload their opinions videos, which is quick and easy to make with some outrageous title to get quick views from a video where some of these opinions are not even their own, but they might not be a K-tuber who cares, considering they just share the same overused opinions, sharing the same thoughts on those opinions. And not even trying to add their own take to those opinions, but using what others have already said, showing me that these K-tubers just probably don't care when it comes to opinions videos, as it might get them views, so they don't care how it's made as long as it's made. And to me, there could most definitely be K-tubers like this. The next K-pop thought is that, I just saw a random community post that said, fave songs of 2025 so far, and while that's a harmless post to write, why are we writing these types of posts anyways? It's barely even the second month of 2025, I saw this post in February, so how are we even having favorite songs of the year already? I can understand for the month, but not the year, since it's not even June, half the year gone by, to actually answer this properly, because I think half of the year needs to go by for people to actually talk about their fave songs of the year so far. You can only answer this with January releases, and that's not a real answer because there's no, so far, with only 1 month going by. And I know that I shouldn't care about these things. But I will, because even though you're just sharing your fave songs, they can't and won't possibly be your fave songs throughout 2025 and last till the end, since things can change with more better releases arriving, and your once fave songs of 2025 so far list can remove songs once on the list because you either got tired of them or overplayed them, or they got boring, and you could even add songs on the list that were not originally on the list because you didn't like them much before. Your fave songs so far list can only come when enough of months have passed by for you to properly know if your fave songs list is actually accurate to your taste and music liking. All I'm saying is that making a fave songs list so early on won't be a good thing because of the lack of music releases that happen, plus you as a K-pop stan most probably listen to bigger, most popular artists, and so making a my favorite songs of 2025 so far as early on as February when only 1 month has fully passed would make your list really short. Like imagine making a fave songs of 2025 so far and your list is like about less than 10 songs lol, that would be funny. The next K-pop thought is that, I saw a K-tuber's unpopular K-pop opinions video where they made the opinion that was titled, 5th Gen GGS are so boring and forgettable, and I'm just sitting here like what? Because even though I don't believe that 5th Gen has started, simply because I haven't found a proper answer for me to believe in 5th Gen and to actually know who started it, I still think the K-tuber saying this was not it, simply because people believe that 5th Gen started in maybe 2023 if I remember correctly, and if so then it hasn't been that long since 2023. If y'all believe that 5th Gen is going on, then 5th Gen is just in its beginner era. With 5th Gen supposedly starting in 2023, maybe, not a lot of time has gone by for this K-tuber to even say that. Because since a lot of K-pop stans mostly know bigger artists with some lesser known, unpopular and nugu artists, which probably this K-tuber is the same as well. They probably don't know a lot of artists in general, which would make this opinion they said inaccurate in a way because of them knowing a limited amount of artists in K-pop and knowing an even more limited amount of artists they consider to be fifth generation, which since they made this opinion and fifth gen, according to K-pop stans who say it's fifth generation, has not even reached its center point yet, and this K-tuber's opinion is inaccurate simply because they made their opinion too early based on the small number of artists that they know of to be fifth gen, which is not accurate to what they're saying since the limited amount of artists that they know to be fifth generation do not speak for the whole of the fifth generation. And another thing is that they call fifth gen girl groups boring when not enough time has passed in the generation for them to properly analyze the fifth generation to actually know if fifth generation girl groups are boring or not. They're skipping out on future girl groups that will come and probably change their mind because they're out here already calling fifth generation girl groups boring, even though fifth generation, as y'all say it's fifth generation, is not even halfway gone. I'm not opposed to this K-tuber having a opinion like this, but at least wait some time before calling a whole gender of groups in a generation boring when the generation is in its beginning periods, as y'all say it is, because again I don't believe that fifth gen has started at all. Wait for the gen to at least reach its center point before saying that so you can properly analyze enough girl groups to fully know if fifth generation girl groups are actually boring, or you just said that too early on without waiting for enough girl groups to debut for you to know if what you say is true. I get what they're trying to say, but now is not the time yet to have such an opinion. Credits to the channel, Bluerbees, who I discovered watching their unpopular K-pop opinions video, and their opinion on albums gave me this thought. Go subscribe to them. The last thought is that, why do you guys need to buy all the different versions of a K-pop album, and why do companies need to make these different versions anyways? All the songs on the albums are the same and only the aesthetics are different. I understand if you like the design of a certain version of the different versions released, but why do you have to purchase all the different versions when it'll just lie in your house? There are quite a few K-pop stans who buy albums just for the photocards, and I don't understand why you spend so much of money on something you don't need when you can just find shops that sell photocards separately and see if they do custom-made photocards, because then you can get photocards of idols from specific album eras by using pictures of that album era you find online instead of spending money on an album that you won't use. Why can't you just buy an album or album version you actually like instead of trying to make unnecessary purchases, because are you stupid or something? The world is slowly dying because of different reasons, and you're adding more to the death of our planet because of your consumerism, and yes you are. You're causing waste by buying these different versions when you don't need them. You can save your money and buy one album from the different versions if you really like it, and keep the rest of the money for a better purchase. You're creating waste by buying all these albums that you won't use or don't need. Plus, I don't even understand companies making different versions for albums, like black version, white version, etc., when it's not needed at all. Making these different versions is unnecessary and it leads to nothing interesting about the album because you're just getting the same copy-paste album songs in a different font. There's nothing unique about the different versions of an album, so there's no need to make so many versions, and there's also no need to buy so many versions too. These albums go in the trash anyways if the sales are not a lot, or if the person owning these albums doesn't even use the albums properly and just wants the photocards or something. We need to speak out against these different versions more because it's leading more and more to wastage, which could lead more and more to land pollution and other terrible things harming our planet.